What's up guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm really sorry for the lack of posting videos. Just after started school, there was a lot of homework and that kind of stuff. And so this week I have something that's really special. I've been working on it for quite a while now, actually. It's actually the Mark 50/Mark 85 arc reactor Tony Stark wears in Avengers Endgame and Avengers Infinity War. It's fully 3D printed and also wearable, which with LED lights that make it look really cool. So this is going to be the first build that I'm going to actually show you guys from start to finish, from the 3D printing stage to the way I sand it to what grits I'm using, and we're going to get really down deep in detail so you guys can recreate this thing right from home by yourself. And so make sure to subscribe. I hope you love the video. So here's our printer framework, guys. So this is where everything happens, where we predict the print, where we see all this cool stuff. So here are the files actually in Lulzbot, and here's the back plate. And so let's move this out of the way real quick. And so you guys can tell exactly how it's gonna look, where it's gonna happen. So this is exactly here. And so up here I use ABS. Profile is high speed. This 0.35 is the distance between the layer lines. Quality, and I think I used a 5% infill with 10 lines. Speed, I just use stock. Support, generate support, and my support density is also 5. My build plate adhesion, which is a skirt, and so, which technically means it helps it bond with the build plate, which is the hot plate you guys saw the print on. And then everything else is that, yeah, that's it. And so here, if we go into layer view, we can see how exactly how the printer will be doing it. It'll start from here, and then it'll slowly build up. And so our blue here is our helpers, which is the skirt. Okay, so if we just move this out of the way and bring our front piece, we'll set that down on the build plate, nice and smooth. And so this is how it'll look. This is how I printed it too. Same settings. We're going into layer view now. And so you guys see the blue stuff inside? That's support. So that stuff is helping this stuff, the actual print to print. So as we can see, it's building up the support first and then layering on from like layer 23, layer 24. And so coming back to the quality, since our high speed is 0.35, that means the gap between these individual layers, is going to be 0.35 millimeters. So you're going to have to do less sanding, more sanding the higher the quality. I mean, the higher speed, you're going to get lower quality. Low speed, higher quality, because you're going to have more sanding. But then it does save on a lot of time, because we can see 2 hours and 10 minutes with high speed. And then if we do high detail, it's going to be 5 hours and 8 minutes of print time. Almost more than half of more than double, actually. So this is what I do. This is our slicer, which sends everything and sends it to the printer. So this is just our the printer printing. And so you can see the printer going over everything, making the shape, making it look like the arc reactor. So obviously this is not real speed. This is a time lapse. A real speed would be about, maybe 5 times slower. So this is ABS black filament I'm using. Okay, so here's the sanding part. And so in the beginning, on the palm sander, I'm using a 80 grit palm sander. And then I'm using a piece of 80 grit sandpaper to go over it again, and then finishing it off with a 220 grit to give it that really smooth finish. And so I'm going around all the places in the crevices to make sure the sanding is good. And so this is how I made the arc reactor, the centerpiece. So you just have your plastic lid there, and so with that plastic lid you just have your traced out template, and I'm just going over it with Sharpie, so it would just be really easy for me to cut it out later. So as I'm going out with Sharpie, you know, the type of plastic I used was kind of see-through plastic. So, you know, like that plastic you can kind of see through. It's just like, you know, normal plastic. And so what I did later on, after I cut it out, I took 2 sheets of just blank printer paper and copied the same plastic on, and then I just glued it on the front and the back to make it clear white. And so you can see that decal, and I'm just taking the scissors and I'm just going to be, you know, chopping away until it cuts. And so here you guys can see the final shape of the arc reactor centerpiece is finally coming on. And like I said before, I just took printer paper and put it on the top. So here's what I used to paint, and so you guys can see the finished project. And so everything's done. I hope you guys like it, so we'll go a little bit in detail. And so this is what I used: Rust-Oleum filler primer. And so I hit like 1 or 2 coats of this after going between sanding and coating and sanding and coating. And then after it was done, I had I blasted it with some Rust-Oleum Bright Coat metallic finish. And so this stuff is actually really good. It has a nice chrome finish, as you guys can tell. And so after that, here, let's get down to the nitty-gritty stuff. And so after I take this out, you guys see the electronics inside, and the magnet, and the LED light strip that is also RGB with the infrared remote here. So after I figure out a way, and so actually I meant to show you guys this. And so this is the arc reactor thing that diffuses the light really well. And so I need to figure out a way just to put this on, and once I do, and then it will be complete. So then, yeah, that just goes on there. Here's our standard 5-volt battery pack. And so look, it turns it on. So here's our remote. I hope you guys can tell the difference. So this is off, this is on. And so we have a lot of different options here. We can make sure it's blue or pink or purple, or I feel like this is probably the best one. It gives the best effect, and that you can, you know, increase the brightness or decrease the brightness. And so you can do cool, soft, warm, and so there are all these different kinds of options you can have. And then there's, at the bottom, there's a flash which goes between everything. Here's strobe, and then here's fade, and here's the smooth transitions. And so that's basically it. And so if I turn it on, here's the difference when it's on, off, off. I hope you guys can tell. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you drop a build idea in the comments below. You guys have been really killing it with the comments and making my day every time I read them. Make sure you drop a like if you want to see more down to detail 3D printed videos. Make sure you share this with your friends. Follow me at Instagram at GsFunV, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.